All right, folks. Today we have the most interesting pad I have in my collection, made by a company called Vancer. This is their Ace series. Let's take a look at this beauty. All right, let's get right into the specs and some of the stuff that you need to know about this mouse. And there's actually quite a few things that you need to know about this mouse. All right, first off, sizing only comes in one size, 450 by 400 millimeters, and it's 4 millimeters thick. And the pricing is $31.99. I think it's available, well, definitely available on Lethal Gaming Gear, I believe Addis, and Max Gaming in EU. Double check on those last two. All right, why I say this is the most interesting pad in my collection, because it's kind of a hard pad, but kind of not. It uses this thing called a rainbow coating. It's essentially a nanopolymer that they put on top of the pad. Now, I'm going to read this directly from Lethal Gaming Gear. There's some kind of bullet points that they added in the description. I think it's worth noting because some people are afraid of coatings in pads. This is my first coated pad. But apparently this nanopolymer is 5 times more wear resistant than natural rubber. It has a high tensile strength of 70 MPa. I had no idea what this was before I started this review, so I did look it up. Polyester is about 55 on that scale, and nylon is about 78, so it's very stretchy essentially, so it won't break or snap. It's more so than polyester, which is what a lot of kind of hybrid pads are woven with, or a mix of that. It's incredibly flexible from minus 30 Celsius up to 130 degrees Celsius. It is non-toxic, and no allergic reactions or local irritation, and it is also used in the medical field on various devices, I guess. Now, on the local irritation part, I do wear a sleeve myself, but I have used this for many hours on the first day without a sleeve. It was perfectly fine. I didn't feel anything on my skin. If this material is burned, it does not produce air pollution, and it biodegrades in soil within 3 to 5 years. Now, we're talking about the material itself, not the entire pad, but just so you're aware. Resistant to yellowing, it's oil resistant, waterproof, antibacterial, and it has a uniform X and Y. Whew! That's a lot of stuff. But essentially, I wanted to cover that because it is pretty unique to this surface, and I think a lot of people, again, have some concerns with coated pads. But in the many hours and in the few weeks that I've been using this pad, I have not had anywhere on the pad. It's completely flawless like it was day one. I have tested some other pads where you can definitely feel some of the fibers of the cloth pads kind of pulling up a little bit. Again, this is completely flawless, so I'm taking their word on the description. I think it's pretty durable material. The design itself, this thing is probably, again, one of my best looking designs that I have here. The MF2 Warrior is my favorite, but this is a close second. I mean, I'm a Joker fan. Vancer as a company is. They got this whole kind of car design. I mean, this is just so freaking badass on a pad. And it's got this really cool shimmer and kind of glow in certain lights. And if you put direct light on it, it does kind of light up a little bit more, but it's a really cool coating and a really awesome design. And I like to see designs on pads. More companies should do this. I think more are, but there are definitely some stragglers out there who are just making black pads. Put a design on there. It adds a lot. It adds a lot of character to your desk, so I do like that. Moisture resistance, not bad. Again, I wear a sleeve. Pretty much most hard pads you want to, but in comparison, my X10 pad, this is their hard speed pad. This is more of a traditional kind of plastic material. I'll get into this in a separate review. It's kind of unique, but this actually does build up a bit more moisture from my wrist and the bottom of my palm, more so than this. So that is something to note. You will feel the moisture build up a little bit more than you would a cloth pad, but the nice thing about that is once you do feel it, I mean, have one of these around and just wipe it down and you're good to go. Versus a cloth pad, that just kind of gets into the pad, or even hybrid pads kind of gets into the pad, and it does affect performance if you're gaming for 6, 7, 8 hours. where this is something you'll notice right away and you can just address it yourself and it will never not feel like it did out of the box, essentially. The base itself is pretty standard. Nothing uniquely special about it, but it does hold extremely well on my desk. The stitched edges, I'm in a dilemma about them. They are the best stitched edges I have in my collection. They are phenomenal, super consistent, no QC issues, really flat. But the only thing is, because this material is so different than the actual like polyester fabric stitching, you do feel it because there's a difference in material. So when you run your hand up and down, you do feel it more than you would a normal pad because it's obviously the same material all the way across. But of course, there's nothing much they could do about that. But I do like that the actual edges themselves are phenomenal. I mean, this is S tier stitching in my book. The surface, it's fast. This is a fast pad. It has very little dynamic or static friction. This is incredibly good for lightweight mice, fingertip grip, really any grip style, as long as you have a good ample mouse control and you've kind of developed that. This is a fantastic pad because it gives you a ton of freedom in kind of making those inner hand micro adjustments. For comparison's sake, you can see the glide here. I mean, it just kind of just goes versus this is, again, a hard pad by X10 with plastic. It does have, and look at how small it is. It has more stopping power for other reasons, but just to compare hard pad to hard pad, this thing does glide extremely, extremely well. So you're going to have a lot of mouse control to be effective with this. But that being said, in game, it's been good for me. I play a lot more tracking heavy games, Shatterline, Battlefield, Apex, Arenas. It's been great in those games, but my flicks have been pretty consistent. It does take a little bit more time to adjust to this because it's so different, but the surface itself is so satisfying to use because it's completely different than anything else that most people are going to be using, cloth or hybrid pads. It just feels, I don't know how to explain it. Again, satisfying is really the best way. Like as you move your hand and mouse across it, it's just that effortless glide is great. I will say it might be better for mice with larger PTFE feet, like the Valor here, as a kind of two large feet. You'll gain a little bit more control and stopping power with something like that versus mice with the 4 feet design like this. These are generally going to be a little bit faster, like your finalmouse, your Model O series from Glorious. If you use Super Glides, it almost went off my freaking desk. It's extremely fast, and I don't think the manufacturer would recommend using glass skates on a coated surface. Glass skates are known to wear down surfaces a little bit faster. Again, I say a little bit faster than PTFE, but especially so on a coated surface like this. I would probably not recommend this. I mean, if you do decide to use glass skates, just note you made wear this out a little bit faster. That's okay if you're willing to purchase another one. And I think the pad warrants it because it's so dang good. That being said, let me pull you on to Lethal Gaming Gear's site. Again, $31.99. They got a couple in stock, 22 in stock. It's been a popular mouse pad in general. You can read about all the stuff I read about. I kind of took some of the bullet points that mattered in terms of the surface itself. You can read all about that in the description there. And as you can see here, when you shine some heavy light on it, it really has that kind of rainbow effect. And with that being said, all my socials are down below, along with any affiliate links and discount codes. There are none for this particular pad. And just to note, I did purchase this pad with my own dollar, so my opinion is unchanged. But if someone were to send me this or any product in the future for free, that it does not change my opinion. I do want to be 100% transparent with anyone watching my videos. If you had a good time with me today, likes and subs are always appreciated. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. But until next Fresh Squeeze video, stay thirsty, folks.